Good morning, one and all. Myself, K. Manjula, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Nagarjuna Government Degree College, Nalgonda. This video content is developed to help the students, degree students, to learn chemistry online in this pandemic period of COVID-19. This is recorded as per the instructions given by CC Telangana in favor of the UG students. In this session, I am going to deal phase rule. The main session objectives are introduction of terminology regarding phase rule, phase, component, degrees of freedom, number of phases, P, number of components, C, number of degrees of freedom, F, and Gibbs phase rule. First of all, I am going to introduce the term phase. The definition of phase is any homogeneous and physically distinct part of a system which is bounded by a surface and is mechanically separable from other parts of the system is called phase. Number of phases is denoted by capital P. Here in this definition we got the term system. This term system, surroundings, etc. These terms you learn these terms in intermediate level, where a system is a part of substance or matter which is under observation, that is about which we are studying. That substance or that part of matter is called as system, and the remaining all is called as surroundings. Now in this definition of phase, the main words that shall be remembered are mechanically separable and bounded by a surface. So these terms shall be underlined. Now number of phases is denoted by P. For that we see the examples as follows. Example 1. A gaseous mixture constitutes a single phase since gases are completely miscible. For example, if we take one cylinder and take all the gases, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, fill in that. All are miscible and all form some homogeneous mixture, and they can't be separable differently as nitrogen and oxygen, physically separable, mechanically separable. So then under such conditions, as all gases are completely miscible, it is considered as a single phase. That is, the number of phases is P is equals to 1. So that is, a gaseous mixture constitutes a single phase as all gases are completely miscible. So the number of phases in gaseous mixture is 1. So here we are thinking about mechanically separable. That's why that word is underlined in the definition of phase. So this example is regarding gaseous phase. Now coming to the next example, that is mixture of carbon tetrachloride and water has 2 phases. Number of phases 2. Here this is a liquid phase, that is these 2 are liquids. For this example we are taking 2 liquids. So take water in a beaker. So this is, say, water. Now I am mixing carbon tetrachloride, CCl4, carbon tetrachloride, organic solvent, with water. I am pouring in this. As its density is high, carbon tetrachloride density is high, it will sink. Of course, it will gather at the bottom. As an organic solvent, it is not miscible with water. Okay. Now, here we can observe two phases. This is the dense oily phase which has gathered at the bottom. This is one liquid phase, and water, this is another liquid phase. Both are mechanically separable using a separation funnel. Okay. So if we pour these two in a separation funnel, and the carbon tetrachloride will be gathered at the bottom, and water will be floating over carbon tetrachloride, and carbon tetrachloride can be removed from the bottom easily. So that is a different topic. Okay. So now these two are non-miscible liquids. This system has two liquid phases. So that is number of phases 2. Though both are liquids, as they are mechanically separable, we are saying number of phases as 2. So in this case, in case of carbon tetrachloride and water, number of phases is 2. Now coming to the next example. Decomposition of calcium carbonate into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. The equation for this is calcium carbonate decomposes into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Here two solid phases are present, calcium carbonate and calcium oxide, and one gaseous phase is present, carbon dioxide. Now these two solids are separable mechanically, and one gaseous phase is also separable. This is considered as a 3-phase system, that is number of phases is 3. So generally this experiment is carried out in a closed vessel where calcium carbonate rocks decompose to form calcium oxide, and carbon dioxide, as this is a vessel closed, it will gather in the open in the space above the surface of solid phase. Calcium carbonate is a type of solid that can be separable, calcium oxide is a type of solid that can be separable, and carbon dioxide is a gaseous phase. So we are not taking two solids as a solid, it is a single. We are not considering like that. As these two are different solids, we are taking as two different phases. Two different solids as two different phases, and carbon dioxide one gaseous phase. So all the phases are 3. So in this example of decomposition of calcium carbonate into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide, number of phases is 3. So this is about the definition and examples for phase. Now coming to the next one, I am going to introduce the term components. The minimum number of independently variable chemical formulae in terms of which the composition of each phase of a heterogeneous system can be expressed directly or in the form of a chemical equation are called the components of a system. Number of components is denoted by C. Now the terms that shall be remembered mainly while defining components are minimum number of components, that is minimum number of chemical formulae, and that formula shall be used to explain the composition of each phase present in the system directly or in the form of chemical equation. So by remembering these underlined words, we can easily understand components. Now coming to the examples for components. Example 1. Considering the following system consisting of ice, water and water vapor in equilibrium. Ice in solid state, water in liquid state, vapor in gaseous phase. That is all are three phases: solid phase, liquid phase and gaseous phase. In all the three phases, what is present? What is the chemical constituent present in ice? H2O. What is the chemical formula for water? H2O. What is the chemical constituent present in vapor, water vapor? That is H2O. That is one formula, H2O, is enough to express all the three phases. One formula is enough, that's why number of components is 1. Thus, for this system, though the number of phases are 3, all the three phases constitute only H2O. That's why number of components is 1. Coming to the next example for components. Example 2. Sulfur. Sulfur can exist in 4 phases: rhombic sulfur, crystals, monoclinic sulfur, needles type, liquid sulfur and vapor sulfur. Now, we can take this as an example for phase also. That is, sulfur system can exist in 4 phases. Here, of course, I have taken an example for components to explain components. This can be taken as also an example for phase. Okay. Here, the first one is rhombic sulfur, that is crystals. Monoclinic sulfur, that is in needles type. While crystallizing the solid, the sulfur crystallizes like crystals, that is rhombic sulfur. If it crystallizes in the form of needles, that is it solidifies in the form of needles, that is monoclinic sulfur. And we have liquid sulfur and vapor sulfur. Of course, liquid sulfur, liquid state, vapor sulfur, gaseous state. So, 2 types of solids, one liquid and one gas. That's why sulfur can exist in 4 phases. Now, what is the constituent present in all the 4 phases? Whatever may be the sulfur, that is sulfur, and its chemical formula is S. That is, one chemical formula is enough to express all the 4 phases. That's why number of components of this system is 1. That is for sulfur system. Number of phases is 4. Number of components is 1. Now, coming to the next one. Example 3. For the decomposition of calcium carbonate, the number of components can be written as follows. We have seen this equation previously. That is, CaCO3 in solid state decomposes to form CaO solid state, solid phase, plus carbon dioxide gaseous phase. Now, in terms of CaCO3 and CO, we have 3 formula here: CaCO3, CaO, CO2. Out of these 3 formulae, I am taking only 2 formulae as components, that is CaCO3 and CaO. In terms of CaCO3 and CaO, all the 3 phases shall be explained, shall be expressed. How? We shall see. First phase. In equation, first phase is CaCO3. Now, how CaCO3 can be expressed in terms of CaCO3 and CaO? That is 1 into CaCO3 plus 0 into CaO. Now, what is the second phase in the equation? CaO. How that phase can be expressed in these 2? CaO is expressed as CaCO3 and CaO in terms of these 2 only. That is 1 into CaO and 0 into CaCO3. Now, the third one. What is the third phase? CO2. We have to express CO2 in terms of CaCO3 and CaO in this way. So, CO2 in terms of CaCO3 and CaO, we have to express CaCO3 minus CaO. CaCO3 minus CaO. What will happen? By subtracting Ca and C is present here and 3 oxygens here, 1 oxygen here. By subtracting that 1 oxygen, how many are remaining? CO2. That is, CO2 can be expressed in terms of CaCO3 and CO as CaCO3 minus CaO. That is, all the three phases CaCO3, CaO and CO2 are expressed by using only two components, CaCO3 and CaO. That is, number of components in this case is 2. C is equals to 2. That is, each phase can be expressed in terms of two formulae. Number of components is 2. Now, why we shall take only these two, CaCO3 and CaO? Can't we take any other two? Yes, we can take. Now, coming to the next example, by taking other two components. In this case, the two components taken are CaO and CO2. Now, in terms of CaO and CO2, all the three phases are to be expressed. First phase is CaCO3. How CaCO3 is expressed in terms of CaO and CO2? Simply by adding CaO plus CO2, Ca, C and O3. 1 Ca, 1 C and O3. The formula will become CaCO3. That is, CaCO3 is expressed as CaO plus CO2. Now the second phase, CaO, calcium oxide. 1 into calcium oxide plus 0 into carbon dioxide. And the third phase, carbon dioxide. 0 into calcium oxide plus 1 into carbon dioxide. In this way, all the three phases can be explained by using these two components. Each phase can be expressed in terms of two formulae. Number of components is 2. That's why during the definition of components, we have underlined or in the form of chemical equation, directly or in the form of chemical equation. In sulfur system, in water system, what we are doing? We are directly using one formula, H2O or sulfur S. But here in this system, we are using components in an equation to express all the phases. So that is the definition. In the definition, the statement was given as the formula can be directly used or in the form of an equation. So that's why here we are using in the form of equation two components. Now, why only these two components? Can we take other two components? Yes, we can go for the other two components. That is CaCO3, CaO and CO2 now expressed in the form of other two components, CaCO3 and CO2. CaCO3, first phase, CaCO3, 1 into CaCO3 plus 0 CO2 in terms of these two components only. Next phase, calcium oxide. How calcium oxide come from these two? Formula CaCO3, CO2. By subtracting CO2 from CaCO3, what we will see? C gets cancelled. Out of 3 oxygens, 2 oxygens are subtracted, so single oxygen is present and Ca is present. CaO. Okay, like that. And coming to CO2, 0 CaCO3, that is 0 calcium carbonate plus 1 carbon dioxide. Like this, each phase can be expressed in terms of two formulae. That is, number of components is 2. So, in all this A, B, C, any two formulae are enough to explain all the three phases present in the system. Now, why can't we take all the three formulae? CaCO3, CaO and CO2 number of components 3. We can't take like that. while defining we have underlined that term also, the minimum number of chemical formulae. So if we can do this with only 2 components with 2 formulae, why shall we go for all the 3 formula? We take only 2 formula at a time and explain all the 3 phases. So that is why we are taking number of components as 2. That is, the word minimum number of, in the definition, the word minimum number of is also taken into consideration like this. So this is about definition of component and example for components. Now coming to the next, I am going to introduce degree of freedom, F. Generally we use degrees of freedom. Okay, nothing is wrong with degree of freedom. Coming to its definition, the smallest number of independently variable factors such as temperature, pressure and concentration, which must be required and specified in order to define the system completely, are called the degree of freedom. Degree of freedom of a system is also known as variance. Degree of freedom of a system is also known as variance. Number of degrees of freedom is denoted by capital F. Now, while studying this definition, what we have to keep in mind? Independently variable factors. Temperature, pressure, concentration, of course. And this is also known as variance. Okay, so coming to something more about degree of freedom. When a system is having no degree of freedom, that is F is equals to 0, it is called non-variant system or invariant system. Now, in the definition we have seen, it is also called as variance. That's why F is equals 0 is called as non-variant system or invariant system. And when a system is having only 1 degree of freedom, monovariant system. Monovariant system. And if a system is having 2 degrees of freedom, bivariant system, and so on. Okay. Now, degrees of freedom, what we have observed is degrees of freedom can be 0, whereas number of phases, number of components cannot be 0, but degrees of freedom can be 0. And this is a little abstract thing to understand directly. Number of phases and number of components we understood directly and we predicted directly, whereas degrees of freedom we can't predict directly. Yes, it is something which is abstract to understand. That's why we need a formula to explain degrees of freedom. Now, that principle which gives about the degrees of freedom is given by Willard-Gibbs and is called as phase rule. Now, what is the definition for phase rule? Phase rule is deduced by J.W. Gibbs. It shows the relation between the number of phases P, number of components C, and the number of degrees of freedom F. According to phase rule, F is equals to C minus P plus 2. Capital F is equals to capital C minus capital P plus 2, where F is number of degrees of freedom, C is number of components, P is number of phases. This is phase rule, which is given by Willard-Gibbs, J.W. Gibbs, to deduce F, degrees of freedom. As it cannot be directly predicted by seeing the system, C and P can be predicted directly, but F cannot be predicted directly. So this equation helps us in calculating F for some systems. Now how F is calculated for some systems? Of course, for various systems it is useful. Now I have taken some examples to calculate F. How? Solving some examples for this system. Example 1, consider one component system having two phases: water, water vapor, liquid, gas. So water is one phase, liquid phase, water vapor is gaseous phase. Number of phases is 2. Yes, number of phases is 2. Now coming to the number of components, water, water vapor, both consist of H2O only. Chemical formula for both of them is H2O. How many formulas we are using? One formula. That's why number of component is 1. Now coming to the formula, phase rule, F is equals to C minus P plus 2. Substitute 1 for C, 2 for P, and plus 2 is already present in the equation. Minus 2 plus 2 gets cancelled. F is equals to 1, univariant system. That is, first the system water in equilibrium with water vapor, the system is univariant system. F is equals to 1. In this way, this principle F is equals to C minus P plus 2 is useful to reduce degrees of freedom for various systems, like this equilibrium I have taken. This is one example, and we use this example in later classes. It is useful in water system. Again it will come there. Okay, then you will listen once more about it there. Now coming to the next example. Example 2, consider a one component system having 3 phases. Here phases are 3: ice, water, water vapor, 3 phases. Solid, liquid and gaseous, 3 phases are present. Therefore number of phases is 3. All the 3 phases, the chemical constituent present is H2O only. One formula. One formula is enough to explain ice. One formula is enough to explain water. One formula is enough to explain vapor, that is H2O. Number of components is 1. That's why number of components is 1. Now coming to the phase rule, F is equal to C minus P plus 2. Now what we have to substitute? In place of C, 1. In place of P, substitute 3. And plus 2, there is already present in the equation. Now 1 minus 3 plus 2. 1 plus 2 is 3 minus 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. Invariant system. So this system in which all the 3 phases are present, which is a 3-phase 1 component system, which is a 3-phase 1 component system. For such system, degree of freedom is 0, invariant system. So thus, by using this formula, phase rule, we can predict, we can calculate F, degree of freedom. This way this formula is used for various systems. In future, we use this, in the next lessons, we use this formula to explain the phase diagram of water system. There we come across these 2 examples once again. That is 2 phases. The previous example, that is the previous example, that is one component, 2 phases, F is equals to 1. And the next example, one component, 3 phase. One component, 3 phase, invariant system. These two again will come while studying phase diagram of water system. Okay. So this is an example to calculate F from the phase rule principle. F is equals to C minus P plus 2. Thus, in today's session, we have discussed about phase, component, degree of freedom, phase rule. And while defining any term, in the definition, some words are very important regarding the definition, such as in the definition of phase, the term which is important is mechanically separable, having a clear clear surface boundary. That is, and in case of components, the important one is minimum number of chemical formulae that can be used directly or in form of an equation. And while defining degrees of freedom, the important word is independently variable factors, and it is also called as variance. That's why we are calling univariant, invariant, monovariant, bivariant, like that. So in this way, the terminology, the important terminology regarding phase rule is introduced. Thank you. Stay home and stay safe.